Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. You're still with Neville and on Twist&Turn. On today's video, before we get to it, I'd like to say thank you very much if it's your first time tuning in. If you are a regular, sit back, relax and enjoy the ride. There's an elephant in the room that I need to address. Before we proceed even further, I've realized that on my previous videos that I've posted, there's a particular video that I posted and it seemed as if most people were offended by that video, and it was never my intention to offend anyone, and I would like to apologize on that regard. And I've yet disabled the comments on that video because they were coming in and they were having me. And I do admit if I have made any fault, I really apologize on that regard. It was never my intention to disrespect anyone, but then we don't receive these videos the same. You know, it is never my intention when I upload them in terms of disrespect, or it's never coming from that. And I thank you very much for the feedback that I've received from everyone who's participated and everyone who has subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for everything that you've done so far, and I do hope that you are in this for a long haul. Thank you very much. And on today's video, as we get to it, it's the 29th of April 2024, today, Monday. Today there was nothing much that happened during the trial, during the day's proceedings, except for a few things that it was adjourned earlier than I had expected, because apparently there were documents that were requested by the defense, those of phone records, and it turns out they were furnished with those documents, but then turns out the advocate requested, or rather they needed more time to go through the data that they had received so that they can be prepared for the cross-examination, because I believe last on this trial there was supposed to be Mr. Hose, Colonel Hose, or the data analyst expert. He was supposed to be present today, but turns out the defense still needed some time to prepare so that whenever that Mr. Hose arrives, at least they are prepared, and then the trial would move ahead. So on top of that, Advocate Mngomezulu then mentioned that there wouldn't be enough time to go through the whole document and then consult with their clients, so they requested more time. So it turns out, the way I see it, it seems as if this trial, it might not proceed for the whole week. The way mina ngibona ngakhona, I'm not saying it's like that, but the way I see it, it seems as if it's not going to proceed as expected for the whole week, but it seems as if there's going to be some adjournment for the advocates who are defending the accused to prepare themselves. So now, Advocate Mngomezulu mentioned that there wouldn't be enough time to go through them and consult with his clients and still proceed with his cross-examination. And then there was Advocate Ramosipili, because after some time, most of the defense attorneys, they did agree with Advocate Mngomezulu in terms of the time they would need because of the data that they were going to receive, because turns out some of them have not received those documents, because even Advocate Nxumalo, okay, I'll get to that. Advocate Ramosipili also agreed with what Mngomezulu had raised, but concerning accused number 2, there was a number in question alleged to have been that of accused number 2. And he further stated that he did try to call the number, and it turns out the number is in use. I'm not going to read that number. The number is in use, and it is used by some lady. So I remember hearing the judge asking Advocate Baloyi if were they going to subpoena the person who's using that number, but then turns out Ramusipili dialed that number and discovered that it belonged to someone else, and also that person is known by accused number 2. The person using the number confirmed that she'd been using the number for a long time. I'm not going to read that number. Hey, I don't know what trouble I might get into for reading the number, but they read that number in court. Then Advocate Nxumalo again reminded that the court has not, that he has not received the information he requested from the state. This is another thing again about the state, where I say the state is playing the defense dirty, because it seems as if they are withholding some of the information that is required by the defense, and it seems as if they are doing it on purpose. But maybe it's my observation and speculation and everything, but the way it seems as if all this thing that the defense attorneys are complaining about, the state is doing it on purpose. But then I don't know, but yeah. And then Advocate Baloyi then mentioned that the defense was supplied with the 205s, but what he's saying and what Nxumalo is saying are two different things. Nxumalo says he's never received, and Baloyi says he's supplied. But then, yeah, it turns out the information that Baloyi supplied to the defense was selective, so the defense needed the whole batch, and which is the reason why I'm suspecting that there's going to be an adjournment for the defense to prepare and to go through that whole batch, because most of them, they were saying something along the lines of, we don't know the volume of that document that we are yet to receive. So then the court adjourned again today, and it adjourned earlier, so everything will resume again tomorrow. It will resume again tomorrow for the state and the defense to sort out whatever they need to sort out, and then because there's still yet to be a consultation between defense and our clients concerning the data that was received, because they are now preparing for a cross-examination of the guy who is a data expert who was working with the cell phone numbers and whatnot. So if you've been watching this video up to this far, thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye, cheers, peace, next time.
Mr. Mgomezulu?
My lord, insofar as consultation with our clients after receiving those, I think that will not be sufficient.
What will not be sufficient?
The time for consultation with our clients, because we will receive this information or these documents today. Then tomorrow, when they come at 9:30, the time will not be sufficient enough for consultation.
Okay, Mr. Ramusipili?
As the court pleases, my lord, I do concur with the sentiment of Mr. Mgomezulu, because the record so far, what I've gone through with what we've been furnished, it's quite voluminous. So we don't know how much volume still are we going to receive. So consultation should be set aside. And just with respect to one number, my lord, I wanted to give it to the state. This number was attributed as that being of accused number 2. However, upon consultation with accused number 2, and also me personally dialing this number with that instruction, we need the RICA information and further information on this number, because it's pivotal to what was mentioned by Lieutenant Colonel Hose, and Mr. Stein didn't touch on this number. This number is attributed to a different person, and she does confirm she's been using this number for a long time, and in court it has been placed as if it's accused number 2's number.
Which